Guramagat Cahirlock, and I'd like to speak to this motion. It's one that is very close to my heart, obviously, as a former local authority member, very proud to have been elected and re-elected to the largest local authority in the country, Dublin City Council. And I speak also on behalf of the Fianna Fáil Senate group, because all of the Fianna Fáil senators are incredibly close to the local authority members. Many of them had the great honour of having been elected to their local authorities and of representing their local communities. So they understand in great detail and value enormously the role of local authority members. And I also want to thank on their behalf Mary Hode and Anne Colgan and AILG, not just for their submissions with regards to the Land Development Agency, but also for their inputs to the other legislation that we've been progressing in terms of the Affordable Housing Bill and the Planning and Development Bills. And I suppose, Minister, we've had many discussions with you. I know the Fianna Fáil Senate group has, and our own parliamentary party subcommittee on housing, which I chair, has addressed this issue. And we don't address the issue of local authority members' reserved functions in isolation. We actually look at it in the round, because we are absolutely committed to the local government. We believe in local government. We believe in strengthening local government. And most importantly, we believe in strengthening the powers of local authority members. And it is for that reason, Minister, that you, I commend you for this, made good on the promise that had been made for so long to councillors to address their terms and conditions, and to have delivered on the Moorhead report that was long overdue. And it is something that AILG and other councillors had campaigned on, and you, Minister, have delivered that for them. But you haven't just done that, Minister. On top of that, when it came to the development plans, the most important reserve functions that the local authority members have, arguably, is their ability to make policy and to make strategic policy and to really own the plan for their local authority area, be it their city or their county plan. It's work that they undertake with great pride. It takes an awful lot of their time, their energy to engage not only with the executive functions, but all of the other stakeholders, most importantly the communities that they represent. And when it comes to the county and city development plans, Minister, you've given the local authority members, not the executive, but the local authority elected members, the power to not only extend their development plans, but to delay the making of the new plans. Because you understand, and we understand, the pressures that all of the local authority members have been on around the country. They've been in the front line during COVID. They've been the ones who have tried to bridge the gap between the executive and the local communities. But Minister, I commend you also for the further powers that you have given to the local authority members. You've given them in the Affordable Housing Bill the power to actually build affordable homes both to purchase and rent. You've passed the biggest and proposed and passed the biggest housing budget, which is money and funds directly to the local authorities. You empowered them to continue to support the businesses in their communities with the waiving of the commercial rates. And when it comes to housing, you've given powers back to the local level at a democratic level, in terms of the reserving of any new housing, 50% of any new housing developments for social and affordable housing. You've doubled the social and affordable, the 20% on any private development, giving powers there again to local authorities. And when it comes to the SHD process, which completely failed our local authority members to represent their communities, you again, Minister, are bringing that to an end, and you are replacing it with a planning process that will give the decision-making back to the local authorities. So I think it is a fair question for you to ask Senator Bowen, what did change? Because there's a number of things have changed in the Land Development Agency, and all for the better, I believe. But the one thing that I think has really changed in the real world is this. The housing crisis has got significantly worse, and in some, albeit a minority of local authorities, a very small minority, but very important local authorities, certain councillors have sought to exploit the housing crisis for their political benefit, and they have voted against housing in Tallaght, in Clondalkin, in Malahide. That is not acceptable in a housing crisis, under any circumstances. And it is for that reason, and I accept and I will defend the reserved functions of local authority members to my death. But I cannot stand over either the abuse of those powers, where those powers are being used to actually delay solutions to our housing crisis, to delay the provision of social and affordable housing. This issue is a very important one. This issue is an incredibly important issue. Minister, I look forward to your response to this issue. I believe you value our local authority members. I believe you are doing all you can to give them more powers. It is an incremental process. The fact that this is being limited now to lands that are zoned for housing but not being developed, it will not apply to any other lands, I see as an improvement. You know, Minister, that me and the Fianna Fáil senators are determined to increase the local authority member powers. But in this instance, we must make the priority the provision of housing, and we cannot stand by where some local authority members are voting against and blocking the provision of housing by the state, social and affordable homes that are desperately needed by our people. Gur magat, Ciarán.